Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of War of Divisions. Today is Thursday and I was thinking about reviewing some units, maybe a vision card or something, but then I thought about it, I was like, well, it's almost Christmas. So effectively, it has been 8 months since this game has been out on global. So another 4 months and we should be seeing some Job EX25 implementation. And I think it's always a good idea to review your own account because you want to kind of gauge your progress over the period of gameplay. And I think the most important thing is keep in mind of what your goals are in the game and why you're playing the game and your playing style of the game. And ultimately, you shouldn't really measure your own account against others because based on the 3 criteria I just said earlier, you should be kind of gauging your own progression, right? And sometimes it's good to watch other people's show and tell just because you kind of want to see and judge based on their playing style where they're at in their own progression. So let's go ahead and start my account's show and tell for month number 8 on my main account. So the biggest obvious addition would be Kane and then of course Rosa that I've done on my main account. And honestly, I realized that even though I'm spending a little bit more than I needed to, I realized I'm actually progressing at my own pace. And I watch a lot of other content creators and lately there's been a lot of good ones that came up, right? And I think most people, I feel like, progress at a very good pace, right? They really want to make sure they keep up with raids, all the newest events and whatnot. But for me, I think I realized I just want to play the game at my own pace, right? I want to play the way I want to play it because I honestly don't feel like I need to be in that competitive arena slash kind of like platform, as if you will, with the other Krakens, whales, or whatever, right? I'm nowhere near those guys. But judging on the fact that I did reach Royal 8 or Royal ranking 8, it means, I'm there at least with the whale status, so to speak. But I don't really consider myself to be a whale because I realize I don't have that many units. And it seems like I'm just kind of nitpicking and going after limited time units. Let's see how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What didn't mean to click that. 6, right? 7. I have 7 limited time units. I mean, Cecil doesn't count because he was completely free, right? 7 limited time units, folks. Actually 8. So, if you think about it, had I known about the EX Job 25, I probably wouldn't gone after as many as I did. And Rosa kind of just fell in my lap because I was trying to go for Kane. I set myself a limit of 10k. And Rosa was the first one that popped. So, and on top of it, when you're farming the Trials of Reckoning, you get all of their job spears. So there was no reason, or job memories, right? There's no reason not to kind of just level her up because you're already essentially there. So basically, my plan going forward is simply only spending my pay gems on those tickets or summons in which they will give me tickets, which I can keep building my vision cards and then finishing off my limited time units and or the premium units. Judging from all the recent videos that's been popping up on YouTube regarding the raid, level 100, double-headed dragon, two-headed dragon, whatever, seems like everyone's using Homeboy here, right? And that's kind of like my main thing that I'm doing now is getting Knight of Ruin Stern up and use him for a lot of future content, so to speak. Like, he does good damage and he is actually quite solid. But I also saw that Aron J, he's like a big spear user. He was using Stern regular, Shadow Links, and Ziza, because Ziza also has Lancer, and of course alongside with Kane, and that seems to be doing tons of damage. But let's go ahead and just break down in terms of elements, because that seems to be easier. I still only have 1 level 99 fire unit. So Ice, I think I'm doing pretty good, right? I got a lot of good units here. So this 5 alone should be enough to tear through most situations. I got healer, damage, support, damage, and of course tank. In terms of wind, I got obviously a pretty solid team running here. My Ayaka is going to be hopefully finished before the 4th month implementation of EX25, right? Because I still love Ayaka. I think he's one of my favorite supporting units in the whole game. And I do want to get Odoa just for the TMR. And then that kind of leads me to where I don't really want to build any of these other units on my main account. Well, maybe Dario, right? Because I don't really have a tanky unit for wind. So I think Dario should be the next priority, so to speak. But like many folks on Global, we're all waiting for those stones. In terms of Earth, I'm severely lacking here as well. I do have a lot of MR units built here, as you can see. Maybe one day they will buff Etra. Maybe at 120, hopefully they will buff her. And I know Balo, a lot of people actually got him to level 120 on JP because he's one of the first few units you could do it. And I guess he makes for a decent tank. So that's potentially an option. But I do want to get Eileen up, and I'm just really not in on Ketone. I know a lot of people like her, but I don't know. That's just a whole new unit I gotta bring up, and I'm not all about it. So really, I have a tank, I have support, I don't know what she is, I guess damage, and then damage, and then I guess I can build her for a healer, because I don't have Kitofe. Kitofe will obviously finish off the Earth team. Lightning, no real additions here as well. Still sticking with my 2 damage dealers. I do have a tank here that I can build. This is a very good supporting unit, and she actually is quite good. It's just that, you know, you have to be kind of in on the missile attacking units. And I think if you're to go for a solid lightning team, actually she would be a very, very good option. I do really enjoy Vadim, so that might be a unit that I would build. And then, so there will be 2 attackers, and she'll be my healer tank, support, and then, of course, I guess debuffer, so to speak. I mean, this guy is essentially a dealer, damage dealer, essentially damage dealer, damage dealer. So I think I'm going to probably go in on these 5 units, right? I don't have Howlet and Skull Hall and a lot of those other lightning units. Actually, what am I saying? Howlet is win, isn't he? Yeah, Skull Hall, I guess, if I ever pull him, maybe in contention in terms of building. I think my water team is looking alright. There clearly seems to be a lack of tanks for water. So we probably need a water tank. Because I don't think this homeboy here, Tyrell, is going to be a tank, so right? So we got damage, support, healer. We definitely need a tank. So hopefully in the future we'll get a tank for water. I will be excited about that. Obviously light, most people are pretty decked. And I'm alright here. I got tank, damage dealer, sort of tank / damage dealer. I got my supporting unit, and obviously this is a tank. So here's the thing, if you have him, I don't think he's really needed per se, but Engelbert is actually quite good though. He's still going to be good in the future. I think I do want to build Rob, because his Trustmaster is one of the better ones in the game for slashing units. And he is going to be obviously one of the few units that you can bring up to level 120. So that's someone that I might be considering. I do want Fina to be built for the bow, because since I have Rosa, I think it'd be kind of sweet to have a charming action. And then of course the other bow, which you can cost Doom. So I would like to have eventually maybe in year 2021, a Doom team, because I love just casting Doom. I think it's so fun. And so for that, I think I'll definitely finish Phoebe as my haste giver, right, for the light team. And I don't really need her on my main account anymore, because a lot of people get her for her arithmetician sub job if they don't have, you know, Little Leela or Eldaira. But she's just such a good unit in terms of damage and as a tank. So light is definitely very, 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 very good. Like almost like you could go out on a limb and say every unit here is great. In terms of dark, as there's no exceptions here either. Everyone is really, really good, right? My first maxed out vision card. Now, by the way, I have, I think, 300. I have 3 select tickets for 300 UR shards, but I just can't really think of a good UR card that I want to max. Like, I thought about maxing Finir, and I'm pretty close to maxing Odin. So they have 5 more days, and I haven't done today, so essentially 4 more days I will have Odin maxed. But I'm severely lacking the Rainbow Spheres, and that's kind of like what's preventing me from maxing this for the raid, right? Because I have obviously all the things, but I just don't have enough Rainbow Spears. So I think once I'm done with Rosa, because I just finished Kane, excuse me, I just finished Super Sexy's turn in terms of building, in terms of, you know, awakening. I want to finish Rosa, and then I'm essentially done with leveling units. Like, no more building unit. I'm going to start spending all of my Rainbow Spheres on Vision cards, because that's going to pretty much push me to the next level. Starting next week, I'll probably do more coverage on Guild Wars and my guild, because we reached Diamond 1, so congratulations to us. And of course, we're going to be talking a little bit more about, you know, how we got the journey, like the path, if you will, to Diamond 1, because we're very proud of our achievements, because we're not like a hardcore guild. We're more like somewhere in the middle, where we're like sort of pseudo casual, pseudo hardcore, so whatever in between that is. So in terms of vision cards, I don't really know there are too many vision cards I want to get to. I thought about Ramu, but I don't know. I think Ramu might get dropped in terms of future, because they might be new cards that can just bump that card down. So I'm not sure if I'm fully into investing on that card. And any card, by the way, here's a tip. Any card that does not have an Esper attached to it is going to be cheaper to buy from the Soul Metal Shop. So it's always better to invest in cards that are going to be more expensive because they have an Esper attached to it, because the faster you get all of those cards to max level, the more likely you're going to be getting duplicates. Therefore, you're going to get more medals for the souls, and you can use those to level up these other cards because they're going to be much cheaper to purchase. So I think maybe I'm all in on the spears, because spear users are actually very good right now. So obviously this card will be very good in conjunction with this card, and of course my Demon Wall. But I think dashing over the snow might not be good anymore comparatively to Demon Wall. So maybe I can just skip this card because of the fact that, you know, piercing attack doesn't stack. I think maybe 2-3 years down the road we might see that ability to stack, kind of like the way we're stacking equipment. We may be able to double up on vision cards, but except the next vision card you only get a smaller percentage. I think that's a good way to break down the, so to speak, of power creeping, rather than, you know, dumping older vision cards. You can just go ahead and stack them up. I think that's a great way to solve the problem of power creeping. In terms of equipment, not a whole lot of additions here. I have been crafting a little bit more than before. I'm trying to finish up the spears. I'm leveling up for the books. I need a little bit more books. And I did manage to get a +1 platinum robe to level 50. I decided to go for the shield because this one is pretty sweet. Like, look at that defense, man. Like, it's really nice. I'm gonna slap that bad boy on Kane, and I think that should really work out. In terms of weapons, like I said, I need to get the wind spear finished and then start working on the bow. I got a bunch of +5s here. Still need to work on this platinum mace. That's a very low roll, so I'm gonna have to re-roll. So I need more seals for magic, and then hopefully I can get it to as close to the max level as possible. Like, I'm okay with like 170s. I want to get a gun finish as well. I need to get my first platinum rod to +5. I've been very lazy on getting the platinum rod up, and I definitely need to build a fire lance. It's just so many of these weapons share the same materials, so you have to be very choosy, you know, nitpicky, so to speak. I do want to get a mage masher once I go ahead and finish Venera. In terms of armor, obviously I talked about the robe, and I do have platinum helms. So maybe I'll make some platinum helms in the future. I just don't have enough materials to get Alexandrite rings up, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make a ribbon as well. And so that's kind of where I'm at in terms of crafting. I'm definitely lacking because like I got a lot of new additions, right? I'll be honest. I got a lot of new additions from recent summons. Got him, I got him. Those are all the new additions. I don't have enough materials to really get them all up. And I really like this. I like this. And I like these three. These three give me, I think, resistances. So they're gonna be like what I'll be working on as soon as the game decides to give us tons of more of those magicites. The double dragon is really, really good, actually. And of course, these four are going to be stables, right? Along with this one as well, because of the fact that once this is taken in a slot, this one is going to be the second best in terms of for casters and healers. So like I said, I'm very happy where I am on this account. I don't think I'm going to be doing a whole lot in the next 4 months in terms of summons and whatnot. And I know people love that kind of content because I noticed that looking at my analytics on my channel, people love to click on summon videos, right? And that's just what it is, but that's just going to be the future. There's not a whole lot of things I'm looking forward to in the next 4 months. Unless, of course, they give us some crazy collaborations. And even then, I have to be very picky because having so many limited units already on my account, it's going to be a long uphill climb in terms of progressing to the next, tier of, the game, right? It will be level 120, and getting all those units to level 120, it probably won't be finished by 2021. Maybe by the end of 2021, but who knows what the game is going to give us by the 2-year anniversary. So, that's what it is. So I hope you guys enjoy show and tells. I think you always should have that as a stable if you're a content creator, because that's a good way, like I said, for other people to kind of enjoy your own progression and match it to yours and kind of do a little comparison, so to speak. And so yeah, that's all the time for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for support. And as always, take care of yourself or your loved ones. Nashtaters family out of here. Peace.